Thanks for taking the time to watch this little video. My name's Tom Lonsborough, and I'm just going to sort of take you through, potentially, hopefully, your first 15 minutes with the new Maschine Jam controller. Many thanks to Native for lending us this unit. We're all enjoying it very much here. So, let's start from the top. So if I hit browse, I get this thing pop up on the screen here, which allows me to, using the master encoder and the rotaries here, navigate to find samples, effects, instruments, sounds, groups, and in fact overall projects as well. So let's load a group first of all. So I can click the encoder in to jump down a level. I can use the encoder to then find my preferred product. Let's go Machine. Let's go Machine 1.8. Let's go back to the old school 1.8 library. I can focus in as Machine users will have been able to do previously. So we'll go kits. We will go, let's have a look. Let's go analog kit, why not? Now I'm running a beta version here, so the number of kits I've got has been reduced somewhat. Let's try an Oliver Huntman kit, one of my favourite producers. Okay, so it's loaded the patterns with the group, and straight away we can see brand new functionality for Machine, the ability to switch between patterns. So you've got like a top-down view, which you've not had before, which is really, really, really great. But what we're going to do is we're going to start from scratch. So clear button here, ding, 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 ding. Just get rid of those. So we've got a completely blank canvas. So you can see we've got group A to H. So this is the pattern slots for group A. So what I'm going to do is just hit one of those. We get a bar by default. If we want to, we can go shift pattern length, and then we can change the length of that if we want. Let's just leave it as a bar for now. Okay, so Maschine Jam is all about actually no, you can record things in freehand. We'll come to that in a moment, but it's for those that like to program music. So we will go to step. We can trigger each one of our 16 sounds that we've been provided in loading this group here in the bottom right hand section, and if I hit the play button, you can see currently selected sound slot number 1, and the top 16 buttons there represent 16th of a bar. So 1 bar of music split into 16. So if I was to go shift and pattern length and just increase that by a bar, or you can see I can actually do that with the buttons as well, which is pretty cool. So 3 bars, 4 bars, so on and so forth. Let's just come out of that. Go back to step. You can see now for my kick drum, I've got 2 bars. Still looking at 16th of a bar, we've got 2 bars. Okay, cool. So all we need to do is just start turning some lights on. So these slots aren't velocity sensitive, which personally I think is a good thing when I'm step sequencing. You see how easy it is to start knocking a beat together. What's really cool about the step sequence mode is actually if we hold that down, at the moment we're able to sequence for either 1 slot at a time, we can go to 4 slots, or we can even go to 8 slots at a time. So let's just go like that. And you see I've got my kick, my snare, my hat. Not sure what this sound is. Let's just... So that's my hi-hat, my slightly more open hat than this one we've got sequenced here. If I press the down button on the D-pad, I get to the next bank of 4 slots. You see actually if I look over to the machine interface, I've got another kick, I've got a clap. So let's try. Sorry, that's a kick. slightly lighter clap there. That's cool. So the next set of 16 are for sound slot number 7, which is the sound effects. What's this going to sound like? There we go. So we can just keep moving down in groups of 4. So it provides like really interesting way of programming your drums, options for doing some crazy polyrhythm stuff. Hold step down, just go back to 1. You can see I've got go back to my 16 slots here. Go step and 8, and then there's only 2 pages now. There's the first 8 sounds, and there's the second 8 sound slots. You see, if you look over to the software, you see as I press the up and down D button, press down, you see we go move down from 9 to 16 there, and I'm only looking at the first half of the bar currently, or rather if I press 1 here I see the first half of the bar, press 2 I see the second half of the bar. So that will obviously change depending on the length of your pattern. So we'll come out of step mode. You can see there's my pattern. Just move over to the next pattern slot. Jump back to that one. The other thing I can do is using the metronome. I'm going to pad mode. I can play things in freehand just like you can do previously. So we go shift and pattern length. Let's just nudge that over so it's 2 bars long. We'll go to pad mode. And then we go shift and quantize. Drop yourself out of record. Find your hi-hat. Go shift and quantize, just quantize that hi-hat. There we go. And then we can get rid of the metronome. Let's come out of pad mode. Go to the overview, and you can see there we go, just switch between those 2 patterns. Right, okay, so let's get a new group going. Group B, browse. To move sort of back up to being able to choose your effects or your instruments or whatever, if you not want to load another group, just use the D buttons. Nudge yourself back up to the top. Here we go. Let's go instruments. Splits it into drums and percussion. Synthesizers, sampled instruments. There we go. So let's load All Reliable, bit of Massive. Maschine 2.5 library gives you some new Massive presets. Let's have a look at some of those. So yeah, let's go with some bass. So love my analog. Let's go for a nice monophonic analog bass. McStabby. Okay, that's drawn me in. Right, so let's go pad mode. There we go. That's going to give you a C. We're going to change that. Let's have a look at how we can change that. Shift and pad mode takes you into the keyboard. So whichever sound slot you've got currently selected, so you hit pad mode to choose your sound slot, and then you go shift and pad mode to bring up the keyboard. You can hear there we are in chromatic mode. So what we can do is, if we just touch don't even need to click it in, just touch the master encoder, you can actually set your root note, and you can choose whether you're going to be in chromatic mode. I play every note within the octave, all 12 unique tones, or we can go for a major scale, minor scale, harmonic minor. There's a few options in there. You see you've got the Phrygian mode, you've got a couple of others. Let's just go for good old-fashioned minor at the moment. And now you can see we've got fewer notes between the root notes. There's my C and the next C up. And there's my C minor. Okay, so we could obviously just drop ourselves into record. Do something like that. Quite like that, actually. Or we could go into step mode. So let's just do a couple of versions there. Let's come out of pad mode. Let's hit a pattern. Like that. So if you look over to the software, you can see my drum pattern that I got playing is 2 bars long. By default, my new pattern here is just 1 bar. So it's going to loop twice. I'm going to go shift and pattern length just to make that the same length. So yeah, let's record freehand first of all, why not? We'll go shift and pad mode to go into the keyboard. Something like that. Straight away, shift and quantize. Love it. Right, let's look at another way that you can record that in. Select a different pattern. You see my old pattern still sat right there. I can switch between it at any time. Let's go for this new pattern. Let's go for something a little bit more 4/4 as well. 4 on the floor. This time, make sure we've got the right group selected. We are going to go shift and step. And what we have here is now an octave of C minor. And we can just start. You see, we're looking at we're looking at the second half of the bar there. Let's just get rid of those. Let's go to the first half of the bar. And then we can move over to the second half of the bar. Okay, so obviously the volume of my bass group is completely decimating the level of my drums. This is where the really cool sort of volume controls come into play. We go level, we go play. You got these beautiful touch strips. For not only obviously overall your groups, but if we go level and let's just hit one of the individual sound slots, you can see now that I've done level and a sound slot, we've got control over the individual sound slot volume level. Obviously this will take you through to 9 to 16, back to the first 8 again. You've got the usual suspects, mute, for example, or solo. Let's just take a closer look at these touch strips. It's quite a an overpowering sound, that bass. So let's look at control. So let's just go to B. You see I hold the control. So I've selected my group first, hold control, click the relevant sound slot, and now my touch strips control some of these parameters. Got real fast hands-on control of the macros that Massive provides you. You can also move further down the instrument parameter list using left and right. I'm just making that a little bit more. A little bit shorter. There we go, that'll probably sit a little bit better with those drums now. So let's just unmute those drums. Well, let's go back to the song level, just try that break beat. So now we're at the song level, we can see an overview of our patterns, and at any time we can just switch between them in real time. Great for a little live performance. So that's your first 15 minutes with Maschine Jam. Stay tuned for further tutorial videos. If you like what you see, please check out our Maschine course page at midischool.com.